Okay, so I got a question this morning from somebody in my mastermind. It's a great question. The question's about having an enrollment call. She had an enrollment call with a 20-something, someone who she's really inspired to work with. Quoted her regular price, great price, 1K per month. That's where I want all my coaches that are working with me. We've got to get over that 1K a month level. So that was great. And then she reported that she left feeling deflated. She felt like the client left feeling deflated, unsure. She really wants to work with her. She was afraid she couldn't afford her. She doesn't want to pay too little, but she wants to do this, but she's not sure. So specifically, the question is, any tips for when a client says, "I need to see if it's doable financially"? And then she says what she did do is, talking about what you will get out of the coaching to make sure that it's worth it, and what could you create together to make sure that it's worth it. And then she also asked about what to do when a client feels deflated. Is that something we want to change? So I'll speak to each of these really differently. So first of all, I want to say, based upon your description, it sounds like she came in ready to be deflated. So she came in worried that you cost too much. She came in worried she couldn't do it. So my guess is that that's a pattern for her. Now, I wouldn't know. She's not my client, but that might be a pattern for her. She starts very optimistic, but she knows her optimism, her idealism will take her that far. So she's going to be let down eventually. So she's preparing to be let down. So you offering a price gives her an opening to go into her story that she can't actually do the thing she wants to do. So to start off with, in an enrollment call, I would just normalize that. Like, hey, I totally get it. I've been in a place where I've been really excited about something and was very optimistic or idealistic, and I found out what it took, and the reality of it just sort of hit me like a ton of bricks, and I felt really deflated. So if you're feeling deflated right now, it's totally okay, totally normal. It's happened to me with coaches before. That deflation can be a defense mechanism. So I'm kind of curious for you, like, is this thing where you get excited about something and then realize the reality of it and get deflated? Does that happen to you before? And see what her answer is. My guess is probably yes, probably has happened to her before. And they say, great, well, what helps you get through that? What helps you get back to optimism? What helps you get back to possibility? For me, that deflation is a defense mechanism, sort of protecting me from the work or the letdown that might be showing up next. So how might you work through that? What will be next for you? And again, you support her in that conversation like you would through any coaching conversations. A lot of what I teach in the realm of enrollment is that working with enrollment, doing objection handling is really just a form of coaching. So, the deflation is just a thing in the way of her being, she wants to be a yes in this coaching. So I would normalize it. I would inoculate her. Okay, it's totally normal to be deflated, and then really invite her into what's the possibility. How do you get beyond deflation? What is deflation protecting you from? And see if you can get her into a context of possibility around even her deflation. Acknowledge the breakdown, which is the deflation, and see what's next for her, what's possible. And this question of, do we want to prevent our clients from feeling deflated at the end of a call? I generally don't want to be attached to any way that my client is feeling. So they're feeling great, I don't want to be attached to that. They're feeling crappy, I don't want to be attached to that. Probably harder, actually, for me to not be attached to when they're feeling great. Like, I did a great job. I killed it as a coach. They're rocking it because I did such an amazing job. But for some of us, the deflation or the down feeling can be harder to attach to. So I don't want to be attached to either one of those things. I want to be there for my client. Certainly, I feel good when their call goes well, but I don't want to be too down on myself when the call is challenging or they feel deflated. Right. So again, what I would do is if a client feels deflated, I would just acknowledge that, like, hey, I totally get it. It's normal to feel deflated here. I would create some context for it. And then I would ask them, where would you like to go from here? What would you like to create from this place? Because when I acknowledge that you're in a breakdown, you're struggling with something, where would you like to go from here? So I think especially when you're starting to raise your prices, when you're working with people, you're going to encounter people who are very excited and then feel kind of bummed out or stuck when they feel deflated, when the price gets there and that the real challenge of the commitment gets put in front of them. That's a normal thing to have happen. And so as much as you can, normalize it, inoculate them, stay with them, be on their side, not get thrown off or get deflated yourself, the more powerful you stand for them as a coach. So those are my recommendations. Inoculate them, normalize it, invite them to see what the possibility is beyond it. And it's okay if they feel deflated, it happens, but have them see that deflation is just part of the process for them getting to where they want to be. It's normal natural thing for you to feel deflated when you get confronted with the actual commitment that's required for you to make a change in your life. All right, I hope that's helpful, and I will see y'all on the internet. Bye.